All right, let's get right into it. We're talking about something huge today, a totally new way to think about your career. And look, it's not just about climbing the ladder anymore. It's about building something much more valuable. Real, lasting security in a world that, let's be honest, feels like it's changing by the minute. And that really brings us to the big question, right? The one that I think is on a lot of our minds. For decades, the playbook was simple. You get a good job, you put your head down, you work hard, and you climb that corporate ladder. But is that dream, is it even a thing anymore? Well, if you look at the numbers, the story is pretty undeniable. Data from LendingTree shows this massive jump in professionals who have a side hustle. Back in 2020, it was just 13%. But look at this. The projection for 2025 is 38%. That's more than 1 in every 3 professionals. So this isn't just some little fad. No way. This is a huge, fundamental shift in the way we're all approaching work. And that shift really gets to the heart of the problem. We're living and working in a seriously volatile world right now. And the old rules, well, they just don't apply anymore. There's actually a term for this kind of environment. It's called VUCA. That stands for volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. And you can feel it, can't you? Teams are leaner, the economy feels shaky, and AI is changing everything. In this world, just being good at your job, just delivering results, that's no longer a guarantee of security. It's just not enough. Okay, so if the old playbook is out the window, what's the solution? What do we do? Well, that's where this idea comes in. It's called the side hustle mindset. And I want you to think of it as your new secret weapon for building a career that can actually last. Now, let's be super clear about this. This is not me telling you to go quit your job and start an Etsy shop. That's not what this is about. This is an entrepreneurial approach that you can apply to literally any role you're in right now. It's about building what we call dynamic capabilities, basically the skills to pivot, adapt, and always add value. That is how you create your own career security from the inside out. So what does this actually look like in practice? What are these attributes? Well, it's about being resourceful. It's about being self-directed, not just waiting around for someone to tell you what to do. It's about taking smart, calculated risks. It's thinking about the market, spotting opportunities that others might miss. And of course, you gotta be fluent with today's digital tools. When you put all of that together, you build something called self-efficacy. That's just a powerful, deep-down belief that you can make things happen. All right, so that's the what. But what about the how? How does this actually play out in the real world? Let's break it down and see how this mindset applies whether you're just starting out or you're already a senior leader. And what's cool is that the benefits really change depending on where you are in your career. If you're early on, think of this as your own personal apprenticeship. You're building skills and a portfolio on your own terms. Now, if you're mid-career, this is what's going to set you apart from everyone else. It gives you the confidence to pitch your big ideas and really step into a leadership role. And for all you senior leaders out there, this is how you keep that edge sharp, how you stay relevant and strategically one step ahead of the game. Here's maybe the most important takeaway of all. I love this analogy. Think of this mindset as your new career insurance. Because let's face it, you just can't count on a single company for your security anymore. That era is over. This mindset is the safety net that you build, that you own. And it's portable. It's there to catch you when one of those stable jobs, poof, suddenly isn't so stable anymore. Okay, so you're probably thinking, this sounds great, but how do I actually build this? And the best part is you don't have to go out and get an MBA or start a whole new company. You can start building this way of thinking right now, in the job you already have. It all boils down to a simple framework. Just think like a founder. So what does a founder do? First, they don't just put band-aids on things, they dig deep to identify the root problems. Second, they don't just complain, they create real actionable solutions. Third, they're obsessed with the market. They study their customers, their competition, everything. And finally, and this is so key, they fail fast. They run little experiments, see what works, and adapt quickly. This is how you build that entrepreneurial muscle without taking on huge risks. All right, let's wrap this up. We've covered a lot. But what's the one big thing you should take away from all this? The thing that can change your future, starting like right now. There's a quote from Cynthia Pong, who wrote the article this is based on, and it just hits the nail on the head. She says, leadership isn't about waiting your turn. It's about making your own moves. And that's it right there. That's the whole shift. It's moving from being a passenger in your career to getting firmly in the driver's seat.
And look, if any of this feels a bit big or intimidating, just remember this one thing. This side hustle mindset isn't some secret talent you're either born with or you're not. Not at all. It's a skill. And because it's a skill, you can learn it. And because it's a mindset, you can take it with you absolutely anywhere, to any job for the entire rest of your career.
So we'll leave you with this. You don't need a business license or a startup loan to have the most powerful qualities of an entrepreneur. You just have to make the decision to start thinking like one. So the real question is, what's your move going to be?